I'm Isaac Hope.
And I'm Ryan Mack.
We want to talk to you today about plastic roads. What are they? What benefits do they offer over conventional roads? And why are we doing this project?
We are in civil engineering class together, and we were tasked with finding something that we cared about and thought needed fixing, finding a way to fix that problem, and presenting our findings.
We started off with a how might we question, using our design thinking framework to help us begin this project and our research. Our question was, how might we improve the roads around Highland Park, making them more sustainable and resistant to the extreme weather changes of Chicago?
The answer is plastic roads. According to plasticroads.eu, the concept is that the road is made from as much recycled plastic as possible, plastic that is still treated as waste. This allows for recycled plastic to re-enter the chain at a higher level and reduce its CO2 footprint. Plastic roads are designed to reduce construction time by 70% and transport involved with the construction by 85%. The plastic road lasts three times longer than your typical asphalt road. The road also is 100% circular, meaning that it will be possible to recycle a plastic road at the end of its life into parts for a new one. The road is prefabricated and includes a hollow space that can store pipes and cables, heat roads, and more. The idea is to place the road in sand, which removes the need for a gravel foundation. Additionally, the road saves 2 to 3 layers of asphalt that no longer need to be produced.
In order to help us conduct our research, we reached out to a number of experts to give us their opinion on implementing this technology in Highland Park. We reached out to our current and former city managers of Highland Park to see how this kind of project would go over in this city. We reached out to our AP environmental science teachers for their opinion on the environmental effects of a project like this. We reached out to a company that has developed this technology already to get some information about construction, cost, and other impacts. Lastly, we reached out to my uncle, who used to work for the Department of Streets and Sanitation under Mayor Daley in Chicago.
How could we solve two world problems? The poor quality of roads that we drive on and the waste plastic epidemic that we all see in the world today. We use waste plastics to add into an asphalt mix to create a stronger, longer lasting, pothole-free road.
Okay, introduce yourself and explain a little bit about your role that you played in Chicago Public Works.
So my name is Paul Toback, and I've had roles in government for many years, including being Chief of Staff to the White House Chief of Staff. overseeing the departments, all the federal government, and then also working in the city of Chicago as the chief administrative officer for the entire city, overseeing all the city departments, including streets and sanitation and all the paving and asphalting work that went on both summer and winter.
What is your experience with roads and potholes and like infrastructure around Chicago?
So interestingly, when we came into power in the city of Chicago, number one complaint from citizens throughout the city were pothole problems, unfixed potholes, and it was an endemic problem that we had to work on fixing. And when you deal with potholes in a cold weather climate, one of the biggest problems is how many of them there are, how quickly they spread, and the fact that you can only fix them during the summertime, because asphalt is a seasonal product that can't be spread during winter, and the asphalt plants close, so it's important that you have a way to be able to fill product not just in summertime but all year long, because the potholes really are created from the salt and the expansion and contraction during winter.
Are you familiar with plastic road technology?
I am familiar with plastic road technology, and it holds a great promise to be able to make a big difference in taking the number one complaint that citizens in cold weather cities have, which is potholes.
Do you think that Highland Park could benefit from using something like this?
I think Highland Park could benefit tremendously. I think number one, this plastic polymer holds the promise of being able to be a more cost-effective solution. It holds the promise of being able to be a more effective solution, because sometimes when there's hot asphalt and cold asphalt, and the hot asphalt is more effective than the cold asphalt, if the plastic polymers allow the asphalt that's poured during the winter to be able to actually adhere better, it could mean that the potholes need to be fixed less frequently, which is a better solution. So that could be a better solution for Highland Park.
Do you feel that there could be a way to improve upon this technology?
I think if the technology allows for potholes to be filled in both winter and summertime, and changes the need for the hot asphalt plants, which open only in summer, and the ability to control road potholes before they get bigger and bigger, then it could be a life-saving technology by allowing winter filling of potholes.
All right, that's it. Thank you for your time. I contacted Gita Newkirk, who is the current city manager of Highland Park, and she put me in touch with Emmanuel Manny Gomez, who is a city engineer for the city of Highland Park. I was able to speak with him on the phone, and he said that he hadn't heard of this technology, but after reading some of the information that I had sent to him, he found it, quote, very interesting. He also said that he had already spoken with the Illinois Department of Transportation about our project. They aren't currently using this product anywhere in the state, but they had heard of it and they thought it was a good idea. His next step was to go to the big contractors who produce asphalt for the county and get their input. Mr. Gomez did have two areas of concern: climate and cost. He wasn't sure how the roads would hold up in cold weather in Chicago, and he also wanted to know the cost of production that I wasn't able to provide on hand. I will be sharing with him some more information that we found so he can do some research on his own. Thank you. So please give us a little bit about your environmental background.
Hi, Isaac. Okay, so my environmental background is that, well, I went to the University of Wisconsin-Madison for undergraduate. I got my graduate degree and master's in environmental geography, and I'm an adjunct professor for Loyola University. I taught Arctic field ecology. I've been a consultant for the College Board, and I wrote the AP curriculum for AP Environmental Science. I helped with it.
Do you know about the environmental impact of roads?
Yes. Yeah. Oh, I do.
Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yes. Okay, so we learned in AP Environmental Science about habitat fragmentation, which is a totally different issue. But when we think about roads and what roads are made out of, they're made out of asphalt. And asphalt comes from crude oil or from tar sands. And tar sands are in Canada, and the extraction of tar sands is environmentally really bad for many reasons. And politically, getting crude oil from some countries is a political, what's the word I'm looking for, like
Crisis.
challenge, crisis, yeah.
what are some of the environmental effects of plastic waste?
So plastic waste, well, when we make plastic, it comes from extracting crude oil again, because it's from a fossil fuel. And once we make the plastic, it's here forever, for the most part. There's a few things that might break it down, but it's here. And right now, scientists are telling us there's more plastic than plankton in the ocean. And it's getting into our ocean, it's getting into our food chain. People are ingesting microplastics, and we don't really know the effects of that on our bodies. Other than that, we do know it's an endocrine disruptor. So, you know, from an environmental perspective, it's bad, and also from a human perspective, it's bad.
So what were some of your thoughts when you heard about this new technology?
Super cool. I think it's cool you guys found it. And I think that what's really nice about using plastic in a road is that we're taking something that's a waste product and we're finding a use for it. And hopefully that will create a market for waste plastic. Right now, China is not buying a lot of our recyclable materials. So if they don't buy our recyclable materials, then there's not a market for that. If we have roads that are made with plastic, now there's a market and we can use it, and hopefully there's some value and people won't just throw it away. It won't end up in a landfill or in the ocean.
Do you think a project like this could go over well in Highland Park?
Yeah, I think it's a great idea. And I think that the leaders in Highland Park are really open to ideas like this. Our community has a Go Green Initiative committee, and they are doing great work and fantastic work in Highland Park. I think that is something that would be really cool and exciting to have in our community.
All right, thank you very much.
You're welcome.
There are many benefits to implementing this technology. It helps to reduce the amount of plastic waste sitting in our landfills. It reduces the amount of potholes that develop, reduces construction time, and can save the city some money.
The future looks bright for plastic roads. They are starting to pop up in cities all over the world. There's no reason why ours can't be next. These roads can be built in our city as soon as funding is obtained and the vote to implement them passes.
We think that the people of Highland Park will be extremely happy if we were to make the switch to plastic roads. I think we both agree that it would be a welcome benefit to the city.
I think you're right. Thank you for watching our presentation, and please consider adding plastic roads to Highland Park.